Closed mouths don't get fed. This one saying completely changed the way I view Y Combinator post-demo day, along the way to raising $13 million. And I'm gonna share the single biggest thing 90% of founders miss after YC Demo Day. Hey, my name is Arjun Mahadevan. I'm the CEO and founder of doola.com, a business in a box for e-commerce that's raised over $13 million based here in New York City. Today, I'm gonna share what happens after demo day. There's so much conversation about YC and the batch and demo day, but the biggest secret hidden in plain sight is that most of the value, if you do it correctly, happens after. I need to take you back in time though, and this is actually how I came to the realization that YC can be a secret weapon after demo day, and it's actually really helped fuel us to our growth today, where we've served over 10,000 entrepreneurs in over 175 countries. Demo day is electric. Back, you pitch, you have a full room of investors, you're getting inbound from investors, you maybe likely signed your first term sheet, you have money in the bank, what could go wrong? But unfortunately, if only it was as easy as getting into YC or raising money for your business to work. If that was the case, then it'd be very easy to reach product market fit and build a business. But post-demo day, you then gotta go build. Raising money and congratulating someone for raising money is kind of like congratulating someone for being a chef and saying, hey, congrats for buying ingredients. You gotta go cook the ingredients now and serve a dish. Build the Michelin star, get the Michelin star, grow the restaurant. So I scheduled an office hours session with Aaron Epstein, who is one of our partners at YC. And I came to him thinking, we're screwed, we're stuck. Aaron's really gotta help here. And the question I had for Aaron is, hey, Aaron, everything's broken on the operations and product side. We need to improve this flow. We don't really have a dashboard or a backend still in Airtable. All of these things are broken, and we're a small team. I think at this point, there were a few people on the team, less than 10. And then on the growth side, it's like, wait a second, we're not growing fast enough. We need more time to do partnerships. We need to figure out paid ads. We need to figure out SEO and content. So I asked him, hey, Aaron, what should we focus on? Is it growth or is it product? And before I even finished the question, Aaron had that disappointed parent look on his face. And he said, Arjun, the average founder says we can only do one thing. And they choose one thing. They say, oh, we got to do product at the expense of growth or growth at the expense of product. But a YC founder, the extraordinary founders, they do both. They find 90-10 solutions. They find solutions where with 10% of the effort, you get 90% of the outcome, and they do both. So it's not product or growth, it's both. It's not net new revenue or retention, it's both. It's not LTV or monetization, it's both. And that completely flipped my mindset of, holy crap, I don't want to be average. The average startup dies. We need to completely change our mindset and start attacking problems and not making fake compromises with limiting beliefs. And in that moment, I realized the value of YC isn't just demo day. It's in conversations like these, when your head's down building, when someone who has seen this movie before tens, if not hundreds, if not thousands of times, can help you look around corners you didn't know exist or prevent you from walking down a fork which falls off a cliff. With that, I'm going to share the framework. These are 3 things I would recommend for anyone post YC demo day. And what I'll say too is if you're listening and you haven't gone through YC, you can still take these frameworks or take these tips and apply them to your own business. The first tip is treat office hours like board meetings. I used to go into this meeting, and I did, thinking, let me just quickly submit the request and we'll see what Aaron says. Now, I actually schedule a YC office hour every year. Could be a rotating partner. I've done them with Michael Siebel. I call those earthquake office hours because he rocks your world in one 10-minute conversation. But the point is, treat it like a board meeting. Take your toughest problem and you're asking someone who's seen this problem thousands of times. Don't just show up unprepared. And again, if you're not in YC, you can treat this board meeting as, hey, I'm going to schedule some time with an entrepreneur 2 steps ahead of me. Or I'm going to schedule it with a mentor of mine. Treat it like a board meeting. Take it seriously. An ounce of preparation is worth the pound of the cure. This ongoing mentorship with YC has been so critical going forward. And again, I can leverage our investors or YC. You don't have to have investors to do this. You can leverage friends or mentors or colleagues. Step 2 is activate the YC network. Once you get into YC, you get access to this thing called Bookface, which is Y Combinator's internal Facebook. And here's the thing people forget. Your YC batch is maybe 100 to 300 people. The alumni network's over 5,000 people. These are people working at some of the top companies in the world, or they started those companies and they've scaled them. You have access to that network. I would bet that in 1 to 2 emails, you could get in contact with maybe anyone in the world through that network. Dead serious. And that is where you can get intros to investors, to partners, to customers, to future talent. The gamut is there. It's there for the taking, but people forget that they're part of that community. I'll give you some specific examples. I've posted in YC Bookface about new product launches. I have gone in there to find talent. This is where people have now joined Doola, and I've gone in there to check reviews on investors before I chat with them too. That is ongoing value post YC Demo Day. And step number 3 is build long-term relationships. Specifically, position for long-term YC support. YC used to have this fund called the YC Continuity Fund, where they would actually invest in downstream rounds or upstream rounds. The YC Continuity Fund actually invested in doola, and I don't think that would have happened if we didn't schedule office hours and build and maintain the relationship. Now, as of this recording, the YC Continuity Fund doesn't exist, but what I will say is YC can still support you downstream, and even if they aren't going to incrementally invest in future rounds, they can potentially make introductions, and I would bet there might be investors doing reference checks with your group partners or with YC to better understand the journey that you've been on. And when it comes to the long-term support, don't get me wrong, YC's initial investment was critical, but their value has been so much more than just the money. It's, to me, been putting their hive mind into my mind. I'm a first-time founder. I've made more mistakes than we've had successes at the company. But having YC on your side, to me, stacks the deck or the chances that you will succeed. And that brings me to my final point. I think in life, so many things are binary. You either do it or you don't. You either succeed or you don't. You make it to the next level or you don't. That's why if anyone asks me, do you recommend YC? My answer is yes, 7 days a week and twice on Sunday. Because if you're a first-time founder, why not stack the deck? Why not take all the help you can get? Don't try to do it on your own. Ask for help. To me, that's well worth the 7% equity investment, and you get $500,000 take. And that is a wrap. That, to me, is the biggest thing founders miss. It's the value YC adds post-demo day, and that's the 3-step framework on what you can do tactically post-demo day to extract as much value from YC. And again, even if you're not going through YC, well, I hope this actually convinces you maybe YC can be valuable. I have nothing in the game, but I want founders to succeed. Or if you don't have an investor or YC, you can take these same playbooks and apply them to your network. Find colleagues, treat that like a board meeting, open up your network on LinkedIn, and then build long-term relationships for long-term investment. That's a wrap. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any more questions on my YC experience, please comment down below. I'm an open book. I'm happy to answer questions. I write a newsletter every week. It's called the 2-Minute Business Hack. You can check out the link below. My goal is to provide you with an actionable, tactical hack every single week. No fluff in your inbox. Thank you so much again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.